Hello. So, uh, this is only for entertainment purpose only, and but it's really more for me. It's educational also. But you can, of course, discard this. It's just my opinion, and I don't want to sell anything. I'm not pointing to any sales or any business or anything. It's just my opinion. It's so it's doesn't have to be real, but what I'm share a story that when a couple of it's not a story. I mean, as far as it's just something that I want to share. That the game Castlevania. I guess you have heard of it. It's an old game for Nintendo, NES. The one with the bull whip, or the knight with the whip. That I found that I'm not a gamer, but I don't play games and stuff. But I was that song. There's a couple of songs related to that they made, but there's one that I'm not gonna hum it, but one song that I was attracted to it. I liked it, and there was something more to it than just I just liking the tunes and stuff. There's some aspect to it that I just was drawn to, and there was a reason for that, because they showed me from the other side that they led me to. I was first. This happened over a little bit of a time. There was first I heard that song and I recognized that I liked it, and it went a couple of months or maybe a year, and then I was sitting down and I was led to just look into this, and actually this came to me spontaneously, that a little bit before, and this is why I trust it also. Another video I had, I gave you the tip that what I trust when it comes to this, that's when things come like from nowhere, and it just comes even before I even have started to even figure stuff out. I just get some vision, or I see something related to what I want to see, and that's the way I just trust that. I trust that the most, and I got that vision before I was sitting down and looked into Castlevania and the history, and so I was seeing that this guy, and I will just tell everything. I looked into it a little bit. I sat a little bit and I looked into it, so I got more information. But I will just tell everything like I got it the first time. I just what I got compiled right now. So I saw, but it happened sequentially that I saw these things. But so the information that I got, it can be wrong. I just saying what I saw and what I believe, that there's the guy, he lived in Scotland. There was a guy, so he was the inspiration for the character in Castlevania. Of course, the creator of Castlevania might say otherwise. He had another idea, but when people do these things, when directors, movie directors, Steven Spielberg, getting the idea for E.T. And that the idea that the E.T. was a nice one, that the whole idea of the movie was compassion, and that they are loving. That idea, and it came out. Yeah, there's a little bit other things connected to that I can see. It's what I'm making the point for it to be, that there is some involvement sometimes from the other side, and actually quite a lot of times there's I don't believe in any coincidence anymore. I mean, kind of at all. It's made from the other side, but so when people make these games and movies and stuff, and then they have there seems to be that something it's put inside the director's head. There's ideas that come from reality somewhere that they are inspired by. They don't know this when it happens. I mean, in the front of who they are, they cannot like being awake and just say, "Oh, this is where I got the inspiration from." They have their own ideas, but this is really where it came from. This is the idea that the inspiration for Castlevania. And by the way, the video, it might just break any moment. There's the battery, or I mean the memory is not the biggest. As for my head, it's not the best, but so what I was saying is that the inspiration for Castlevania is that there was a guy in I think it's Scotland. I spent a little bit of time just figuring that out. That I think it's Scotland. It's got these big straight cliffs, like cliffs, where it meets the ocean, like in Ireland. But I don't think it's Ireland. It's Scotland, and it was a long time ago, and he was like a guard for I'm not sure about this, but it was like what do you say, where people come to a place with a boat and then they have to go through customs and stuff. It was like something like that, some house that met the people that came to that island, and he was there. He was like some kind of guard or something, because he was kind of tall, and he had a whip. He had a whip with him on his shift. He had it there. I think he actually had it every day, because he could use it as a weapon and defense. And that whip, he did sometimes practice with it outside. It's outside of the house. There was a big house, and I have the pictures around how the house was looking, but I'm not going to describe that. But there it was on the side of the cliff, that the big house, and there he was sitting there, and he was kind of he had a mystique to him, or something that would he was kind of a cool guy also. And I talked with him on the other side also. He has he's a cool guy, actually, really nice. And the reason, I'm not gonna go into that, but I just want to mention, because this is important for you, that the reason why I liked him and I was drawn to the music, because they made me, there's something about this music that I like this, because this guy, I could relate to him, that he's like a more lone guy, kind of a guard, and I have that also. I like that, let's say. I was drawn to that, and that's what they used for me to wake up more. This is what it's all about. It's just to wake up more, understanding who you are. But so I saw him, and that whip, it was going through generations. It was like his grandfather's or something, that whip, and he had it in the casket. And the whole thing with the vampires and stuff, that's not real, but they just spiced it up with that. So Castlevania is fighting against vampires on the cliff sides. you know. And the first image that I saw was, when I started to look into it, was just a guy standing on the cliff sides and just smashing the whip, but just openly in the air. And so this is the guy that I saw. And anyways, just my opinion, of course. Of course, a lot of people make fun of me, but you know, hey, I'm just saying, it's my opinion. But yeah, so what more can I say? It's still, the video is still running. I don't want to make another video, but yeah, so and he had a big house, or not that big, but I was seeing him arguing with some woman there. I'm not gonna go into it too much, but I looked into that, and you just like certain people, and actually there's more to tell, but about these kinds of things, that, but this is just an example that, and also past lives, that this is my experience. My experience is this, that when you just are drawn to something, you have relation to that in past lives, or you like that guy or woman just because who she are, or who he is in energy. And but the places, countries and stuff, if you are drawn to it, many people are like, they like to travel and stuff, and then maybe they can just be drawn to some place that they have not been before at all, but and because just they like to travel and stuff. But for some people that don't really have that too much, then if they are drawn to certain places, there's probably for instance, I will talk about my father, that I will give an example, that he liked Spain. We were to Spain, him and I, before, and he liked that place. And as I start to wake up more, I just felt it. Sometimes I just feel stuff right away, and then it goes a while, and then I looked into it, and then I find that it's true. But I always get these things spontaneously. It just comes, and I just knew that he lived a life in Spain, and it was kind of a good life. He had a big family. He's a family guy. He likes big families, and he really liked that. But he had a good life there, and he lived somewhere in Madrid, like he up north over Madrid, long time ago. He had a life there, and so that's why he liked Spain. He just he has that. He said, so this is my experience, that it's usually is like this. It can surprise you that it's quite often. Sometimes because how is it possible? You lived a life, you was born, and then you never saw anything about this place, and then you just feel some attraction to it. It's more depth to it. Anyways, I'm not gonna babble on, but there's so much to say about these things, that these things are real. But I'm not gonna. This is my opinion. But yeah. So anyways, I love you all, and keep waking up if you like, and see you around. Bye bye.